Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. It's me coming at you with another video yet again. Um and today I kind of wanted to take another step back from the serious stuff a little bit and talk about what I consider to be my favorite game. Maybe not the best game of all time, but it's definitely my favorite, and that's Shadow of the Colossus. Um, and for those of you that don't know, Shadow of the Colossus is a game that was made about, maybe 17, 18 years ago now by this guy named Fumito Ueda. Um, I think at the time, don't quote me on this because I could be wrong. He was with Sony Japan Studio. Um, he had his own little team called Team Eco, and anyway, yeah, the game is basically you're a guy called the Wanderer who, like, his girlfriend or your girlfriend slash princess slash wife is in a deep slumber, and you go to awaken her, and some disembodied voice tells you that you need to, or you can awaken her or revive her if you go beat the set amount of giant monsters around the world. Um, and yeah, so you go do that. Like, you have a sword and you have a horse um called Agro, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. And yeah, you just go around defeating these monsters. And you're like, okay, that doesn't sound like a good game, but like it really is. I don't know. Like I originally played it. I know my older brother had it, but I never um had it when it originally came, or I never played it when it originally came out like 18 years ago. I just watched my brother play. I remember the performance being really not that good though, but I played it finally because I love video games. I watch video game content all the time. Um and I remembered it from my childhood. I played it in the 2018 remake. And I don't know, man. It's just the thing that makes me love it so much is that the story, once you get into it, isn't your normal damsel in distress story like it at first appears. And I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but all I can say is that it's the only video game, and I've played a lot of video games. Maybe I haven't beaten them, but I've played a lot of video games in my short 24 years of life, and it's the only one to make me cry. Um, it's one of those games that just like really shows you the uniqueness of what the art form of video games can be. Um, and also because like that game is from a time where like it was after GTA 3 and Vice City, San Andreas, all those games, but before games like say for example GTA 4 and your Assassin's Creeds and stuff like that. And so before truly open worlds in the way in which I think we all think of them like the Waypoint Ubisoft type system, um, were really in effect. It's sort of like this in between, like you're just the wanderer alone on your horse traveling from each destination, and when you get to these monsters, like it's not just beating them, you have to climb up on their backs, but they each have a, a separate gimmick or puzzle that you have to solve to get on their backs, in addition to just climbing them in the first place, right? You may have to use your sword in a certain way or your bow and arrow to interact with the environment to stun the monster, stuff like that. And I don't know, it's just so, like I said, tightly designed. The pace doesn't get boring. It's not like modern open world games where you like have a bajillion meters of just literally empty space. Literally empty space. Even if you like modern open world games, I think we can all agree that the environments usually, even in the best open world games, usually are not captivating enough to like actually make just travel itself interesting. The one game where I kind of felt that it was different was Final Fantasy 15, actually, because I like going in the car and listening to old school Final Fantasy soundtracks. So like that made it worth it for me. I didn't just ever fast travel, right? I would do that. But anyway, yeah, it's just such a finely crafted game in its mechanics and its attention to details, and it's from that sort of midpoint in game design from the beginning of the mid 2000s rather than the later half of the mid 2000s and early 2010s, when just everything started going to bland open worlds. And yeah, what can I say? Fumito Ueda is really one of the few game designers that I would consider to be like a real auteur. Like that he just has such a defined style and such a like a clear vision of what he wants for his games. Yes, they're all technically different, right? Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian, which is another underrated banger. Shadow of the Colossus is pretty popular, but not The Last Guardian, even though it's really good in my opinion. But yeah, he's just such a tour de force when it comes to game design. And I just love Shadow of the Colossus so much. Thank you for listening to me gush about it.